Bro, there is a video that just surfaced in the Nolan Wells case, and once you see what's actually in it, you are going to understand why the internet lost its mind in the last hour. It's not a photo, it's not a rumor, it's actual footage from July 4th, the exact day Nolan disappeared. And there's a person in that video that some people who knew him are saying might actually be him. But here's the catch. You can't see his face, not even a little. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, I'm gonna break down exactly what this footage does and does not prove. And trust me, the twist at the end changes how you look at this entire case. Okay, quick recap for anyone just tuning in. Nolan Wells, 18 years old, heads out to Horn Island in Mississippi with a group of friends on the 4th of July. At some point that afternoon, he gets left behind. 2 days later, his body is found in the water. No confirmed cause of death, no charges filed, just a family that's been fighting for straight answers this entire time. And on top of that, there's already been conflicting accounts about his final hour, discrepancies about his clothing, questions about his phone, and now, an independent autopsy that the family's attorney says is about to drop. So the timeline was already messy going into today, and then this footage hits. So here's exactly what happened. TMZ published a video today that they say was recorded on July 4th, the actual day Nolan went missing. In the footage, you can see a man standing on the back of a boat. But bro, here's the thing. His face is never visible, not once. What people are pointing to is the shorts. The shorts on the guy in this video look similar to the ones Nolan was photographed wearing that day. And it's not just random internet detectives saying this either. NBC News actually confirmed the location in the footage matches previously verified footage from Horn Island on July 4th.
Unless Nolan Wells has a twin, this picture right here may have just broke this case wide open. You remember these shorts? Nah, watch this whole video because there's a lot going on, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Now, Nolan's mom was calling for people to send in pictures or videos that they have from 4 o'clock that day. Well, this picture is actually from a video. They panned the video across, and there's a person that believed to be Nolan Wells, we're not sure, on the boat, and it's called Little Daddy. But there's more to this story. Now, people are speculating that that is Katie's boat or Katie's family boat that he's on there. Why has nobody said anything or whatever? If this is him on this boat, whose ever boat it is, why haven't they said anything? But that's not all. They do have pictures that haven't been confirmed, but there are pictures that I saw with Nolan, it looks like Nolan, and with someone with the blonde hair, woman in the actual water around this time. So it's possible that he didn't get on a boat, but it's possible they know what happened to Nolan Wells, and we don't, and I don't like it. What if I told you? Justice for Nolan.
So the where and the when line up. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Two people who personally knew Nolan told NBC News they believe the person in that video could be him. Could be, not confirmed. They said themselves they can't say for certain, and that one detail right there is doing a lot of heavy lifting in this story right now. Obviously, this is already blowing up online, and I want to talk through both sides because this is exactly the kind of clip that gets misread in about 4 seconds flat. Side 1. People are saying this is huge. This is the first actual visual evidence from that day showing Nolan possibly alive and moving around after the moment his friends say they last saw him. No cap. If that's true, that's a big deal for the timeline. Side 2, and this is the side I actually think matters more right now. People are saying slow down because a guy in shorts standing on a boat with no visible face is not identification. That's a maybe. That's a lead. That is not confirmation. And honestly, bro, both things can be true at once. It can be a genuinely important piece of evidence for investigators to look at and also not be proof of anything on its own yet. That's usually how real investigations actually work. It's not one big reveal. It's 100 small pieces getting stacked on top of each other.
Black people should be equally as skeptical and cautious of white people as women are with men. Both have significant historical evidence that further reinforces what I believe to be the truth. When I heard Nolan Wells' father say that Nolan didn't see color when he was asked about whether he believed that his son's death had anything to do with race, it kind of made this entire situation a lot easier to conceptualize. It is so important for a young black child to know how they will be viewed and treated in this world, in this country, simply because of how they look. And it will make you think twice about who you go on trips with, who you go out of the country with, who you date, who you become friends with. I don't believe that Just like men and women, I don't believe that black and white people can't coexist at all. But at large, white people have historically been extremely violent and evil towards black people. Similarly as men to women. And it only makes sense. It only makes sense to teach your child very early on how to read the room.
But here's where it gets crazy. The boat in this new video isn't the same boat Nolan actually traveled to Horn Island on. So if this really is him, at some point that day, he ended up on a completely different vessel. Now, before you jump to the worst case theory, boaters familiar with Horn Island say this happens all the time out there. A lot of the local boating community knows each other, and it's normal to catch a ride back on a different boat. So on its own, this detail doesn't confirm anything sinister, but wait for it, because it gets bigger. TMZ says this footage has already been turned over to the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, and investigators are aware of it. And the family's attorney says preliminary findings from the independent autopsy are expected this Wednesday. New footage, investigators already involved, and the autopsy dropping days later. That timing alone is why this story just picked up speed. So here's what actually matters going forward, bro. This video by itself doesn't close anything. It's not identification, it's not a confession, it's not evidence of foul play. What it is one more piece investigators now have to weigh against everything else. The shorts, the boat switch, the conflicting accounts from that afternoon. And the timing is what makes this feel bigger than it probably is on its own. Because right as this footage starts circulating, the independent autopsy is about to drop, which means whatever it says could either make this video feel like a random detail nobody remembers in a week, or the thing everyone points back to as the moment this case changed. No cap, we won't know which one until Wednesday. Until then, everything here stays exactly what it is right now. A lead, not an answer.
If you're following the Nolan Wells case, you don't want to miss this update. So Ben Crump will release the preliminary results of the independent autopsy. It says they will release this information during a news conference tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. at the NAACP National Convention in Chicago. And this is the independent autopsy that was funded by Colin Kaepernick. We also have newly surfaced video that investigators are analyzing of the 4th of July on Horn Island, and apparently in this video you can see Nolan Wells. I will play a clip of that. And local authorities have not yet publicly released a state autopsy report. The footage goes by really quick. Nolan is at the back of the boat, bent over, possibly talking to someone. They're gonna slow it down so you can actually catch it this time around. So that's Nolan right there in the gray shorts.
So where does this actually leave us? Right now, nobody, not TMZ, not NBC, not the people who knew Nolan personally, is saying with certainty that this is him. What we have is a video from the right day, in the right location, showing a man in similar shorts, standing on a boat that wasn't his usual ride. That's a lead. That is not an answer. But with the independent autopsy dropping this week, and investigators already sitting on this footage, this case is about to move fast, whether people are ready for it or not. The next few days could completely reshape everything we think we know about Nolan's final hours. Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos, and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.